Good morning. Our devotions is Mark 2, 1 through 12. When he returned to Capernaum after some days, it was reported that he was at home. So many gathered around that there was no longer room for them, not even in front of the door. And he was speaking the word to them. Then some people came, bringing to him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. And when they could not bring him to Jesus because of the crowd, they removed the roof above him. And after having dug through it, they let down the mat on which the paralytic lay. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Now some of the scribes were sitting there, questioning in their hearts, "Why does this fellow speak in this way? It is blasphemy. Who can forgive sins but God alone?" At once, Jesus perceived in his spirit that they were discussing these questions among themselves. And he said to them, "Why do you raise such questions in your hearts? Which is easier to say to the paralytic, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Stand up and take your mat and walk'? But so that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." He said to the paralytic, "I say to you, stand up, take your mat, and go to your home." And he stood up and immediately took the mat and went out before all of them, so that they were all amazed and glorified God, saying, "We have never seen anything like this." Those men that brought the paralyzed man had great faith along with the paralyzed man to think that if they could just make their way to Jesus, that he could be healed. They had such faith that it didn't matter what it took. They were going to get there, and he was going to be healed. As I thought about this scripture, I have my calendar just beneath my Bible. And when I looked down at the Bible as I was thinking about this scripture, I saw where I had highlighted the dates of our assembly, June 3 through 5. And then I also noticed to the left on June 1 that I had also highlighted that day. And on that day, June 1, I have written, Alex would have been 20 today. Alex was my oldest grandson. He had been in a car accident and died almost 2 years ago today. His birthday would have been this past Tuesday. He would have been 20, and he was 18 when he died. As I pondered between looking at that date and thinking about the scripture, I couldn't help but think, why couldn't I have been able to pick him up in my arms that night at the accident and taken him to Jesus that night to be healed, to be brought back to life? And then the more I thought about it, I thought, geez, Diane, it wasn't your arms that picked him up that night, but the Lord actually put his arms out and picked him up that night and took him to heaven to have everlasting life. Now, when I think about this, I think, how did I know that for sure? How does your faith play into this, that you know that? You know, when Alex, in his older teenager years, I remember him coming to me and saying, "You know, I'm a little confused about Christianity. I'm just not really sure what I believe in anymore." And for some reason, by the grace of God, a young lady was sent into his life, and her father was a pastor, and he started going to church with her. He would go to church with her on Sunday mornings and Sunday evenings and Wednesday night services, and was so involved in all the activities and the things going on at that church. And I can remember the night that he came home from a Wednesday night service, and he started to go up the stairs, and he turned around and he came back down, and he came over to the chair where I was sitting in the den, and he said, "Mimi, I was saved tonight." He said, "I know I'm a Christian, and I know what I believe in now." But he said, "I was saved tonight." And I remember thinking then, oh, I'm so relieved. You know, what a gift. My heart was full. But little did I know that in about a year, what a great gift that truly was when I heard him say that night. I believe I'm a Christian. Great faith is what we all need. Let us pray. We give thanks for all the new gifts that this day will bring. Help us to move into the day with an open heart and mind. Healing Lord, watch over all those who are ill, those that are mourning the loss of loved ones, those that are dealing with a loved one who is dying, and that loved one so they are not afraid. Listening God, be my sounding board. Let me vent to you when life is overwhelming to me. Be my vision and challenge me to make a better world for the children of today and tomorrow. Steadying God, when my feet slip, thank you for helping me safely navigate. Keep me focused, not on the bright lights of the world, but on the true light. God of all nations, help me to follow you. Strengthen me in faith and ground me in your love. Give me the grace to serve you and all people. Here I am, Lord. Send me. Amen.